A very good morning, students. Let us start the second topic of module 4, types of fiscal policy, and this I divided into two parts. In the first part we will discuss about principles of sound finance, and in the second part we are going to discuss about functional finance. So these are the two types, the two parts that we have to discuss under this. First we will discuss what is sound finance and what are the features of sound finance. Fiscal policy deals with the government policy in relation to raising revenue through taxation and other means, and deciding on the level and pattern of public expenditure. It is composed of tax policy, public expenditure policy, disinvestment or disinvestment strategies, and budget management. The classical economist believed that the less the government interfered in the economy, the better it is. This belief, along with the private ownership of factors of production, was the foundation of laissez-faire capitalism. This policy advocates that there should be only enough government regulation to protect property rights of individuals. The market mechanism should be left free for any government interference. Their primary belief was that the size of the government budget should be small and the budget should be always balanced. These beliefs form the basis of principle of sound finance. In recent history, fiscal policy has been important component of government policy. But until the Great Depression of 1929, the government's role was concentrated on traditional functions like provision of defense, law and order, and civic amenities. It was believed that government need not use fiscal policy to interfere in the market mechanism, since the market is efficient enough to correct itself in case it failed at times. This was known as the principle of sound finance. Now we will discuss the features of sound finance. The first feature is Say's law. Say is the name of the economist, and according to Say's law, supply creates its own demand. Since one man's expenditure is another man's income, aggregate demand will always be equal to aggregate supply. This belief forms the base of the argument on which classical economists argued in favor of sound finance. Second point, full employment. The classical economist argued that since aggregate demand is equal to aggregate supply, that is AD is equal to AS, there cannot be overproduction and underconsumption. So, the economy cannot suffer from fluctuations like unemployment and inflation. There will be full employment in the economy. The third point, invisible hand. Private owners of factors of production will always achieve maximum level of efficiency in their use of resources because they are driven by self-interest and profit motive. Next, taxation. According to classical school of thoughts, taxes are harmful because they adversely affect willingness and ability to work, save, and invest. Taxation was expected to be kept at a minimal limit. They believed that taxes should not be used to redistribute income. Next, public expenditure. Government spending was expected to be in the traditional areas like defense, law and order, etc. Government's budget was not expected to be large in size. government spending was not large relative to total spending in the economy. So it was believed that government spending would not have any significant impact on the economy. Next, balanced budget. Expenditure incurred by the government would increase total demand for factors of production as there is already full employment. So there is no justification for the government to expand its expenditure beyond revenue and incur deficit budget. Budget should always balance except during wartime when government will have to expand expenditure to fight the war. Next, market efficiency. If the market mechanism is assumed to be achieved maximum level of efficiency, the market failures are only temporary and the market is fully capable of correcting itself. So, there is no justification of any government regulation and restrictions on the market. Next, Ricardian equivalence theorem. According to this theory, deficit will not boost the economy. Deficit will have to be better met by raising taxes. This is known to the people and they will increase their savings to pay higher taxes later. As their saving increases, they will not increase consumption and therefore increased public expenditure will not be able to boost demand, production and boost the growth. So these are the principles of sound finance or features of sound finance. The question can be explain the principles of sound finance. So you have to give all the 8 points. Thank you very much.